Welcome to the Keelhauled podcast. I'm your host, CaptainLogun, and we've got a lot of Sea of Thieves news to cover today, so tie yourselves to the mast and hold fast. Ahoy there, pirates. I hope you had yourselves a good week and a good weekend. I know I did. This week, we're going to be talking all about the latest teases that have come in from Sea of Thieves, from the tweets, from the splash page, to the fireworks, all of that stuff with the Gold Hoarder community. These are the patrons that are supporting me. They're coming in at the end of each month, and I want to thank them very much for coming on this month, because some of us were actually celebrating Thanksgiving, while others were just kind of wondering why we decided to eat so much this weekend. So with that, let's get into the patrons and then the rest of the community episode. But first, let's get down to the nitty gritty, the Patreon callouts, because not only is this a Gold Hoarder episode, as it is every month at the end of the month, but I do have to call out those people because they are the ones that are supporting me, just like you can. Head over to patreon.com/Keelhauled podcast, and you too can join in, support me, get your name on the show, get into these episodes if you really want to. So thank you to Chateau Neuf, Cloud, Cosmic Johnson, Davram TV, El Jefe Esteban, Trickster, Jabaro 5, Kazia the Rogue, Lumpy SRQ, Dub Goose, Evil Morpheus, Munchie, Regis Stella, Xbox Mike 29, Rust Bell Kid, TN Professor, Big Bad Pad, Mina Fairy, Super Pack, Fergatron, Neon, who's new, Rooski Doo, who's also new, Skinny Matt, Straw Hat Connor, Windsor Chris, and Zamwow. Thank you to everyone who either upped their pledge or joined up this month. It was really nice to see some boosts in that just before the holidays. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me and helps me make this podcast. So pirates, with that, let's get into this episode. Welcome everyone to the November Gold Hoarder community recording. This is the Patreon recording where all of the Gold Hoarder tiers are able to join in and have a good discussion about Sea of Thieves. And this week, I want to thank everyone for coming because, believe it or not, it's actually Thanksgiving weekend, and everyone was probably doing a bunch of eating, and well, most of us in America at least were eating. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Hefe and I are the only two that are actually in the USA. Everyone else is either UK or New Zealand, so never mind. We'll just skip over that. Going down the list, this week we have, as usual, El Jefe Esteban, Mina Fairy, Regis Stella, and Big Bad Pad, as well as Xbox Mike 29, who happens to be playing Monkey Island right now. Very justified. Thanks to a cover of the theme song from Regis that he posted 15 minutes before we started to record. So going down the list, how's everyone doing? Hefe, how was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was great. Awesome. Lots of time with the family and lots of good food, so can't complain. I'm
glad to hear it. And Mina, how's your weekend been?
Cold. Very, very cold.
Oh, really? Is it snowing up there right now?
It is. It doesn't usually snow in November, but it has been snowing here today.
Interesting. Man.
We had gales yesterday as well.
Gales or gills?
Gales, you know, when the wind goes really, really fast.
Okay. That made more sense than gills, definitely.
Little bit.
Yeah. I usually just chalk it up to a phrase that I don't know, but I do know gales. Regis, welcome. How are you doing?
Doing good. Oh, and just correct you, it's Australia, not New Zealand. And we don't celebrate Thanksgiving here yet, like Halloween.
Gotcha. Yet. And as always, Big Bad Pad, welcome. How you doing, buddy?
Yep, doing very well. Having a relaxing weekend.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Mike, how are you doing? Welcome.
Good, man. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Me
on time,
too.
For once.
Well, I'm glad to have you guys on. I wanted to dive into some of the teases that we've been getting from Sea of Thieves, because uncharacteristically they've been very upfront instead of their typical coy self as far as news goes and stuff. In fact, just 6 hours before recording, they released the actual splash page for season 5. Has everyone gotten a chance to take a look at this? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a brief glimpse, but
glimpse.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm wanting to talk about this because it seems kind of strange to me, at least. Like, we've been getting teases all last couple weeks at least for season 5, and looks like we're getting we saw flares in one of the videos that they posted. We saw rockets. Now we've got the splash page. We've got multi-sided die. We've got cannon rowboats. We've got rats, all kinds of crazy stuff. How you guys feeling about this season 5 teases? Hefe, you getting into this? Any thoughts?
Yeah, just by the things that they've shown so far, I'm feeling like this is going to be a pretty big, maybe quality of improvement update. So hopefully, in that world of things will be better. Maybe some of the glitches that's been going on, maybe things will be kind of polished out. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the cannon rowboats. I just see lots of fun to have with that.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about what you could probably do with those. Anyone have anything from the teases that we've gotten that they want to jump into?
You forgot the pulley operated elevators.
You're right. We got a video about how ladders are so passe. So yeah, that was another one. Sea of Thieves put out a tweet and they went and talked about how the ladders that are over at Thieves Haven are going to be kind of unnecessary at this point. We've got an elevator now with a pulley system that's very reminiscent of some of the tall tales in A Pirate's Life. It looks like maybe they're looking to see if there's a way that they can take Sea of Thieves and make the world a little more lively, I guess would be a good way to put it. What would you guys say is kind of the reasoning behind this? Feel free to jump in.
I not entirely sure what it is that they're sort of teasing. Really, I've seen some of the images, and is it just are they putting actual lifts on the islands, or I can't really make anything out from the image personally.
Well, it seems like they want to at least give you a way to transport loot from the top of the island to the bottom of the island in a quicker fashion. Maybe could see that being a reason for why they wanted to put this in.
Is it quicker to put everything on a lift and lower it down at once, or is it quicker to just drop it off the edge like we normally do?
Are they expecting us to spend a lot of time on Thieves Haven?
Yeah, that seems more likely than dropping treasure onto it. Surely just dropping it off the edge down to the ground is a quicker way.
I don't know. I still have nightmares from all the Thieves Haven runs that I've done. I don't know if I want to spend that much more time on Thieves Haven if I don't have to.
I think this is mainly just to make traversing from the bottom of Thieves Haven to the top of it a lot more easier, because as somebody who done some to grind my Athena renown to 20, yes I did so, hassle to get from the bottom of it to the top. And maybe they'll do it for the other islands, like, God forbid, Hold Faithful Island.
Well, it makes me wonder what's faster, right? Like, that's kind of the big question in my mind. Is it quicker to run up the ladders, or is it quicker to use the elevator? Are they planning on removing the ladders, do you think? And if so, how do you guys feel about them taking out the ladders if they're planning on finishing up that ship? Maybe that's one of the reasons why they're changing things up, is they want someone's actually completing that ship and planning on sailing it.
To be honest, generally, when you're on Thieves Haven, you use your cannon to get up the top of the island, and like you say, you just drop it off one of the bridges or onto one of the beaches to get it down again. I think in terms of game mechanics, I think it's just something they had, and Thieves Haven is the ideal place to use it because they have the lifts there. But in terms of speed, I don't think there's going to make a huge amount of difference. I think it's already upset one of our players in the fact that he used that platform as a hiding place to ambush people, which you won't be able to do now.
Yeah, having set places on an island can definitely make a difference, but there's a fair amount of ledges in that cove still to be able to hide out on. I can't imagine that all those spots would be taken away. I'm curious how you guys feel about them changing islands like this. Do you guys are you okay with this kind of progression? Is that something that you look forward to having in the game, or is it just don't touch the island, I like it the way it is, I'm not too worried about what possible changes could come? Because they did always promise that they wanted to bring things like booby traps to the islands now that they had gotten the tall tales in. Is that something you guys want to have to deal with?
I'm okay with it. It'll be fun. It's just something new to get used to. No big deal.
I don't think that I think we're all quite used to things changing. I think when the game sort of first kicked off, we really wanted things to change, and they did, and then it hit a point where it was like, oh, this is quite nice now, I quite like this, and things just kept changing, and I was worried about things changing. But I've just always kind of felt, even when I was worried, things have worked out great. So yeah, I'm happy for things to just keep evolving. If they didn't evolve, it would probably just get boring. So I'm good with it changing.
Is there an island that would be better suited? Because I'm trying to think of like I would think oh dang it, what's the I'm forgetting the name of the one that's between Sunken Cove. The middle of Sunken Cove, I feel like could really do with like a ladder or an elevator up.
Rope.
Yeah. You know that waterfall and the cave system that's down there? There's only that one little spiral ramp that you can take to get out of it.
Yeah. Feels like it could do with a rope slide, right down the center.
Yeah. Mina says in chat, you talked about some islands could probably benefit from more ways up. You thinking like maybe like Plunder Valley, that chasm that's in there, getting up to the top of that would you use like an elevator to get to the top of Plunder Valley?
Yeah, Plunder Valley is that got the big valley in the middle. Funnily enough. I mean, I don't know about lifts and things like that. Anything really. Sometimes you're trying to do riddles on places like Plunder Valley, or Old Faithful was mentioned. I tend to stay away from it. I find it annoying, and you'll get a riddle down in the middle of the valley, and then it wants to send you up to the tippy top, and you have to run all the way around and all the way up, and it's places like that might benefit from quicker ways up. I don't know where they would put anything, or if it would be ladders or pulleys or what. But yeah, I could see them adding things that could be beneficial potentially. I don't know if they will, but it's a possibility.
What if this is just the first step? Maybe the pulley and the elevator on Thieves Haven is just step one of a bigger plan. And step two is wheelbarrows or carts, where you can throw multiple items onto it and you can pick it up and move it, but you can't just throw a wheel cart over the edge of the island and have it land in the water and have that work out. But having land-based smaller traversal items or vehicles, the way we use rowboats to get from one place to another to transport loot. What if elevators up and down is an easier way to take a wheel cart with a bunch of loot over to it, use the pulley to take it down, head it over to the island, have everything harpooned off of it, and then wheel it back over to the elevator, take it back up.
If wheelbarrows come to the game, TN Professor will be one of the most happy pirates on the seas. He's been wanting them for a long time.
Well, this kind of speaks to the idea of them livening up the world, right? If they're looking to change things to make traversal easier or have additional functionality, like having a wheelbarrows would be interesting. Mina, how do you feel about it?
Oh, wheelbarrows would be awesome. It's something that I know in my family, there's been a few of us that have thought that would be really cool to have. And like LFA mentioned, I know Professor's gone on about them for years. So something like that would be so cool. Especially if you could put somebody in them and give them a wheelbarrow ride.
What if wheelbarrows came with a cannon and you could have like a little mini turret? You wouldn't
I'm
want
in favor of that. I would totally want that. That sounds like chaos waiting to happen. I would love that.
a little, yeah, just, you'd be pushing around someone in a cannon and they'd be firing a cannon in a wheelbarrow, and it'd be a little mini portable turret that you could just wheel around.
Can we please make that happen?
As long as we can put them on the ship as well and just like add front-facing cannons.
Oh god, that would be hilarious. There's got to be a way to like. I don't know. How do you guys feel about like the ships right now? Because I don't know about you, but I've always wanted there to be like those big, typical piratey gangplanks that you run out and they drop down onto the ground, and then you go up the ramp onto the ship and you come back down off of the ship and stuff. And yeah, you may have to anchor next to the shore, and it may take a while to run out the gangplank. But if we had like a wheelbarrow, especially a cannon mounted wheelbarrow, I feel like that would be worth having a big gangplank. Am I wrong? Would that be too annoying?
As I said, this is not World of Tanks. That's just a little bit over the top, I think.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a cannon on a wheelbarrow. I just want a plain wheelbarrow that you can throw stuff in.
Okay, but we have one of the videos that they put out was cannon rowboats. Isn't cannon rowboats kind of in the same feel? Like, are cannon rowboats okay, but wheelbarrows with cannons no good? Like, walk me through that. I'm gonna pick on Pad.
I can't say too much because it's NDCs.
We know they exist.
NDAs.
Yeah.
We know they exist.
Yes, we know it, I know how they work. So I think that they will put something in the game that makes it hard to use it as a cannon boat.
Yeah. I mean, the pure physics of it doesn't make sense. So I'm assuming that things are going to be wonky as things are in Sea of Thieves. But I mean, if cannons, like, I don't know if you guys have seen the Crimson cannons from the vampire set that came out, but those have like working cartwheels on them that actually rotate, like when you fire a cannon. So like the tech is there for them to have wheelbarrows and stuff. I feel like we could do this. I feel like this is the thing that maybe this is what they're working up towards, giving us wheelbarrows.
No.
Maybe they don't. Maybe not with cannons. Maybe that's 2 years out. But maybe this year
I'll be fine with just the robot. I'll be fine with just the with the wheelbarrows, just not with the ones with cannons. We already have rowboats with cannons.
Well, we're getting them.
And my dad was like, "How the hell does that work?"
I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out. How do you guys
see it? I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to carefully find out. How do you guys feel about because we've been talking a lot about digging stuff up on Thieves Haven and elevators and potential for wheelbarrows and stuff. We're getting the ability to actually bury stuff. How do you guys feel about burying stuff? Is this something that you guys want to do? Like the best use case I could think of is the situation where you're running into another ship and you have something you don't want to lose, and you have someone jump onto an island as you sail by it. They run over to a special place where only you know, and then you go bury it and then come back later to pick it up when the heat's off. That's realistically the only thing I can think of as far as why you would want to use this bury feature. But it's something that we've been asking for a long time in the game. We've wanted to create our own voyages to be able to, have an adventure. I've talked about wanting to have like bottle quests that you can make and stuff. I'd love it if you could just bury the bottle quests and get those off of the radial, but I don't even know if that's even possible. But looking at burying items, anyone plan to do this on purpose? Like, is this something that anyone's like looking to bury loot for later?
I think it could be interesting. I just hope that there's some kind of way that, let's say you're out hunting people down, that you as the hunter have a way to have access to what they've buried somehow. Otherwise, if that's not the case, then I feel like that's a big miss. But I think it'd be cool to, go bury an Athena chest or something, or go bury I don't know, whatever. It could make for some interesting interactions for sure.
So there has to be some fair play to it. Sorry, Regis.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna say, like, if you're gonna bury something, then maybe make the.
You there, Regis?
So that way, I'm here.
You cut out a little bit. You said that make it a way for there, and then it cut out.
Yeah, make the map that you use to bury said item. Get the map and then use it to get the buried item.
Yeah, so maybe that would be a way to, like Hefe's talking about, if there's a way that other people can find your loot. Because as far as I can tell, it's just we're burying stuff. I don't know if there's a way that you can, outside of just pure memory, they haven't shown any way for us to tell, like, if we're coming across something, because we've always had that issue, right, where you're tracking down a ship that's working on a Athena voyage, and you can kind of work out that they're on the last step and they're going to go dig up their Athena, but you don't know where that Athena is. Will there be a way for us to tell when someone has buried an item on an island? Like, will that be something that's easy to see? Like, is it going to leave a I don't know, like a little dirt mound or something on there to be able to indicate if there's going to be loot buried? It seems like the easiest thing, right?
You'd think, like say, there'd either be a mark on the island where the person's buried it, or maybe it creates a bottle mission type thing that is carried on, I wouldn't say on the player, because maybe it's carried on the ship.
Yeah, or I could mark it on the map too. If you've got the map table and you bury something, the easiest thing I think would be just to mark the map or mark the island on the map to actually show like where you actually buried it. And then if someone does get on your ship, that would be a reason to actually check the map and actually see, because I feel like that's something that does anyone here still use their map table frequently other than just checking for reapers?
No, not really. But I really do hope it's not down to memory. Because if I bury anything, I'm never going to find it again.
That is cold, hard facts, Mike. If I bury something, you might as well just throw it away.
Might as well just leave it on the beach and let somebody else have it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it feels like this could be potential. Like I was thinking about with the elevators being the first step to getting wheelbarrows to be able to move items quicker. Maybe burying treasure is the first step to us creating our own map riddles, like being able to, because it makes sense to that you would want to have some way to actually find out where your stuff is, whether it's like an X marks the spot or if you bury it next to what's it called, a point of interest, then that would be a good way to go. Overall, just in thoughts, just kind of off the cuff thoughts, you guys like the idea of being able to bury loot? Good thing, bad thing?
I think it's going to be great for content creators, storytellers, and the role players, that it just gives you that little bit extra to play about with. How they do the mechanics of people being able to steal them or find them or whatever will depend on how easy that will be to do. I think in terms of normal sailing for us guys, probably we'll do it for the commendation because I guarantee there'll be one of those. But for the normal run-of-the-mill things, I probably wouldn't bother, because if you're going to run and try and bury something, you're probably better off just to try and run and sell something, because if you're on a galleon, it's going to take you 9 digs to bury something. In that time, the ship that's chasing you could have fired somebody over and they'd have found you burying it.
Yeah, that's a real good point. It's interesting to try and think about why now. Because that's always something that in the back of my mind, anytime they announce something, it always comes back to why now? Why was, because we've heard from Rare, we understand that when they do build things, they tend to time things up in a way that makes sense for the story that they're trying to tell based on when they could get the content made. So, for example, Merfolk have been in the art books and teased since before the game was launched, but we didn't get them until year 3 because it happened to coincide with the story they were trying to tell with A Pirate's Life. So when I look at things like flares, when I look at things like elevators, when I look at things like cannon rowboats, less so with the cannon rowboats, I think that's just a fun thing they're trying to do. But digging feels like they're trying to give the tools to players to try and create a story, which I think, like Pad, like you said, I think is going to be great for people like Dread Pirate Doug who do the Race of Legends. That would be a great thing to have, like, you know, messages in a bottle that you can hand out to each of the crews to add one more step to the race where they have to complete these messages to dig up the item on a set path. So I'm very curious to just kind of figure out what Rare's reasoning for this is going to be. Is it story related? Is it more like a Shrouded Spoils? And will people be trying to actually create this world where we're creating our own voyages, much in the same way that like Ramses took all his treasure and buried it, and we're digging up his treasure at this point?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have just thought of the perfect excuse for the burying mechanism or mechanic.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's when you find a humble gift, you can just bury it again.
Yes.
You guys hate on those gifts so much, man. It's free doubloons. Stockpile. You get most of you guys are running Reaper anyway, right?
But who needs doubloons?
Yeah.
It's like a squirrel hoarding food for the winter, you know.
Yeah, but they eat that. They use that. They need that. We don't have a
Yeah.
use for doubloons. They're pointless.
Well, I mean, technically right now, but I mean, they'll probably be doing something in the future with them, right? Who
Yeah,
has?
you could always buy another 500 doubloons for a Thieves Haven runs. Now that they've got the platforms, they're going to be going there again.
Yep. So that's what you'll do. You'll find a gift. You'll turn in one. You'll bury the other, and you'll use the elevators on Thieves Haven to do it.
Or just bury them on the beach.
Yeah, I guess if you had to.
Just
I
leave
think
them on the
going
dock
back
for the
to
next
your
crew to come in.
Yeah, I think for your overall point, I feel like just with the way Rare's done things in the past, they've been really good about building something up over a number of months, and I could totally see some of these changes leaning towards something like that. I mean, look at Reaper's Hideout. They built that up over almost a year, maybe, at least 6 months, if not longer. So I could totally see, the world changing for something coming down the road, story-wise. And if that's the case, then I'm all for it. I mean, even if I don't think that I'll use the elevators on Thieves Haven or the digging mechanism, I'm totally okay with it for the bigger picture of, leading up to the next big thing.
Yeah. I think that's where we're kind of just grasping for straws right now. We don't know the end outcome right now, but we do know that there is an outcome. We just haven't seen the reasoning behind it. So I'm trying to suss out some of the more interesting reasons for it and see if we can kind of build up on that. I am kind of curious though, with we've talked about the elevators, we've talked about burying, we've talked about the cannon rowboats. Grog Monet's coming up, I'm assuming, because it's an event that we get each year now, along with the Gift of Giving. Before we get into season 5, is any of you guys looking forward to the gift or the Festival of Giving, where they typically have us do something tied to giving loot to other people?
Yay, more humble gifts.
Or you know what? If you got to give treasure to somebody, kegs work. Kegs count. Just gotta go give them a nice explosive gift. And fun will be had by all.
Ahoy there, pirates. This is the ad for this episode, and I did want to let you know, if you wanted to avoid these and just get a regular filler, you can head over to the Patreon. There's a special feed just for patrons that get the ad-free version. If you want to keep listening, though, I can't say I blame you, because this week I want to let you know about Loot Crate and getting 15% off of most crates and crate subscriptions when you use the link and code RobotsRadio in the show notes. Also, you can head over to audiobooks.com, get your first 3 audiobooks for free, and that can include any 2 VIP books, or use the affiliate link for Green Man Gaming. If you're a PC gamer or you'd like to save money on games, it's one of the benefits of being a PC gamer. Head over to Green Man Gaming. You can get codes for Steam, Epic, any of the different stores that they have deals going on. They have deals going on all the time, and if you plan on buying there, please consider using our affiliate link. All of that goes straight to me through the network. Thank you all so much for everything that you do to support this podcast. It means the world to me, and I continue to try and improve the quality and the content for you. With that, pirates, let's get back to the show. So what can they do to make Festival of Giving interesting for you guys? Like, what is it? Because it feels like you guys are brushing up against the Festival of Giving event. You don't want to deal with gifts. You don't want to give away loot. You'd rather keg them. How can they do something that is going to entice you guys to do something that is actually dealing with giving, like with that mindset? Because obviously the theme is based around like Christmas and the holidays and celebrating and giving people stuff. What is something that you can give to someone that you're going to feel good about other than kegs or cannonballs?
I'm sorry, but we're pirates. We don't give anything away for free.
So I guess at this point, then why does Rare continue to feel like this is the thing that they need to do? Is this kind of your guys basically saying that we don't like this event?
I don't know whether or not we're in the minority. Obviously, there have been a huge influx of players over the last year, and so for them, it may well be the first Festival of Giving. So it may be that they, as Rare as a company, see the benefit in doing it, every year. I think for the people who've been playing it for 3 years, it's like most of the trials, it's just repeating stuff that you've done before. And so I do think they need to introduce something new, and that's very hard to do in a game like Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I agree with that. In a lot of ways, I just see it's the end of the year. Folks at the studio, they usually take off for a few weeks, which by all means, they deserve their time off and with their family and just relaxation and all of that. So in a lot of ways, to me, it just seems like it's like an easy filler event where it's not really much of anything. It's just easy stuff to just go repeat and do. And again, there's, just like Patty said, there's plenty of new folks who are brand new to the seas, especially this year with the Pirates life coming in and the big influx of that caused. So there's opportunity for folks to go do that for the first time. But those of us who've been around for a while, it's I feel like we just whatever. It's just something to go do. We'll do it because we want to say that we've done it all, but I don't know that we get really excited about it.
Should Rare be turning this back to what it originally was, which was just a Gilded Voyage? Should they be pushing it so that we're getting gifts from them in that case? Because it feels like no one's really invested in giving other people stuff. It looks like it was a lot more fun for people when people were running around working on the Gilded Voyages and people were sinking ships and getting huge hoards. But I can't imagine that's pleasant for the people getting sunk, losing their Gilded Voyage. So like how, should it just be something where they are giving us stuff instead of us, or trying to force us into a situation where we're trying to give other people gifts? Is that the better way to go about it?
The thing is that Rare aren't forcing us to go and do anything. If our gameplay is not to go and give the gift away, and we're not interested in the accommodations that go with it, then that's our decision. I think the Gilded Voyages, I think they need to give out more of those, but not just at Christmas. They should give one out during the summer or something, so that it's like you say, when we get the Gilded Voyages at Christmas, damn well that 90% of the people that sail are going to be sailing as Reapers because they want everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
If they were to do that twice a year, or give double voyages, or do something, but I don't think Rare are they're not forcing us to do anything. We will play how we play. It's just that at this time, I personally am not really interested in Festival of Giving. I'll do it because I'm a completionist and they'll guarantee there'll be some more commendations to go with it. But in general, I will just put the Reaper's flag up and try and go and sink everybody.
Yeah, they could do like an Easter one and maybe something for the summer, and break it up into like quarterly. And then maybe they don't have to be quite as lucrative as the Gilded ones. Maybe the Gilded one's the big sort of gift for the year, and then give
us an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
So have like a voyage that you throw down that's a lot like a Gilded, but theme it around like an Easter egg hunt where you're going out and finding like those peculiar relics, and the more of those that you turn in, the more it like multiplies the amount of value that you get. So say there's like a counter that's in the events tab that counts however many you've turned into any of the different trade companies, and the more you turn in, the higher the multiplier, up to like a certain cap maybe.
Yeah. So you could have like instead of the peculiars, you could have like an Easter egg themed one.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn the gems into Easter eggs for that season, or for that month, or for that period, or whatever, so that rather than getting random gems washed up on the beach, you get random eggs. And like you say, you can then go and do Order of Souls, and sometimes when you kill a skeleton, you'll get an egg dropped as well as their skull. Obviously, for the Gold Hoarders, yes, you can go and dig up, and some of the things you dig up will be Easter eggs. Merchants, chickens could lay them.
I would love to see some.
There's a way of doing something for the whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think that would be, because I don't think that we actually had anything other than cosmetics come in for Easter last time. So it would be nice to see an event that is designed around that. But I'm curious if is that just more the same, or is that a fresh enough change in the events that would be enticing enough for whatever you guys can think of as far as like what the rewards and stuff like that would be? Because I
just think anything new, whether it be different or brand new, it's got to be better than not getting anything.
Yeah.
So not Easter egg shaped gifts then, Paddy.
No.
I just think in general, the general complaint, and this has been said for a long time now, is just that a lot of these filler events that they do, it's just wash, rinse, and repeat of the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
But you run into that
I think
with every game, though. Every game has a gameplay
sure.
loop. So why are the events the thing that everyone picks on when it comes to this is the loop that I don't like compared to the loop of just going in and sinking ships and taking treasure and putting it in, or going out and doing the same events that we always do, grabbing the loot and then turning it in? Because it feels to me like it's undue resentment on the events just because they happen to be called events compared to when we're just constantly working on the same stuff we do every day when we go in and sail. Is go out, get treasure, whether you dig it up yourself or get it from events or get it from other ships and then turn it in and rinse and repeat. The core mechanics are the same. It's just one happens to be tied to event cosmetics and the others don't.
Normally I don't have.
Go on, I'll let you go. Go.
Normally I don't have an issue with the season of giving that they usually do. I quite enjoy it. Sometimes it can be annoying if you can't actually give things away, but we usually manage it. The main issue I have this year is we've literally just had giving things away. We've had a giving event to then in a month's time have to do the exact same thing again. I feel that's just a little bit too soon.
Okay, so it's the frequency for you that kind of rubs up against like what you would want to do when it comes to events.
Yeah, it's the fact that, like I said, we've just had to give away some stuff, and again, I didn't mind doing it. We found a bunch of new people that haven't done giving things before, and we were able to interact with new people, but it's all the stuff that normally we would be doing next month. And the thought of having to do it all again is just like, I mean, we would do it, but...
So I guess that comes down to the core design of the events team and what they're doing, because it feels like to me what the biggest problem is we're running into a situation where we're okay with different events, especially if they change them up, probably for the best, but we don't want to be running into a situation the way we did with the plunder games and the I just blanked on what was the one that came, Mayhem I think was the name of it, where we were doing the same trial-esque style stuff.
I think so, yeah.
So similar to that, we're having to give people loot already, and we're not really getting an opportunity to really justify like our turning in of our own loot, especially when December is going to be the last month for people to be able to be working on their ledgers. It seems counterintuitive to want to give away the thing that you need to try and get higher up in the ledgers. Is that fair?
Yeah, I suppose that would be one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the easy solution to that is just put all your stuff on a rowboat, go dock your rowboat in the back of a ship, then undock your rowboat and row away. That way you get to keep your loot, but yet it counts as loot given.
Oh, could you imagine the confusion as well?
So funny story. That happened last night or actually I guess technically earlier this morning. Caleb woke up, wanted to see if I wanted to go sailing. We hopped on a sloop, went and grabbed a merchant voyage, and then we grabbed a bunch of crates, and we wanted to, because I've been trying to get the last of the Festival of Giving content stuff done for the event. And there was a brig over at a skeleton fort. They just finished up the skeleton fort because we were like hemming and hawing around like how we were going to try and see if we could get them into an alliance and then over to an outpost so we could get the event done. And we headed over there and we had everything like in a rowboat. And when we got over there, we found out that the pirates that were actually there were like brand new to the game, like still running around in their base clothes, had just figured out how to finish up a fort, had no idea about like tuckers or anything like that. And we managed to get them on the comms in game, and we were talking to them and trying to explain to them like different things to look out for, telling them about the event. They had no clue about the event. They'd never even seen the events tab or had been keeping up with any of that stuff. So after a lot of discussion and trying to get them to trust us, we managed to get them to undock their rowboat, which had a bunch of loot into it, and we docked our rowboat, and then Caleb dropped it, and then they rowed their rowboat over to our ship after a while and managed to dock it, and we both got credit that way, and it worked just how you were talking, Hefe. It was kind of crazy. We both kept our loot. We both got credit for the event. We both then sailed over to Sanctuary after having to deal with a Kraken, and managed to get the little bit of the event done. So I don't know if I'm down to do this all over again at the end of December, to Mina's point. I'm just trying to think of something that we can offer the team who generally listens, a workaround, something that still kind of plays into the favor of the holiday season, that kind of breaks up the monotony of having to give people treasure. And I'm not sure what we can do or what they can do to actually do that. So did anyone have any thoughts that they wanted to offer up before we move on?
The one thing I will say is that, sorry, the one thing I will say is that I don't think it's us hating on the team or the game. We love the game. It's just obviously this is our opportunity to gripe about things that we gripe about. For like the new players, all of these things are new to them. It's an adventure to go on. It's just that we've all been on that adventure for the last 3 years, and so we would like something new. It's not easy to figure out something new to put in a game of this size. So yeah, I just wanted to get that point that we're not hating the game. We're just griping about the little things.
Yeah, and Pat is going to say basically the same thing. We love the game. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't still be here 3 years into this thing. The game's amazing. The game is great, and in general, as much as I may gripe about some of these rinse and repeat things, as long as there's new content coming in on a semi-regular basis, I'm good with that. I'm good with the filler stuff in between, kind of being these same things, because at the end of the day, we're still going to get out and sell multiple days a week and go do what we normally do. And if there's something to tie into that, a new combination or whatever, it'll probably be something loosely associated with what we do on a regular basis anyway. So in that regard, it's fine. It's good. It's no problem. It's just you asked, and it's just one of our gripes, and it's but it's a petty thing, and it's it's no big deal. Like, we're still going to do it. We still love the game. Rare's amazing. Rare's put out a fantastic game, and I just know that long term they've got big plans probably, and looking forward to that. Just as long as they continue putting out new content, on a seasonal basis, then we're good.
So
I think.
I think what you guys are saying is 100% valid, and I don't want to make you guys feel like I'm trying to invalidate that at all. I am with you on that sentiment 100%. I definitely want new events. I definitely want new content to come out, and I definitely want to feel like there's something different. Mina, you brought something up in chat that I wanted to touch on because I was thinking about what you said, which is snowball fight, and I'm curious. What if we twist that, because we're probably not going to get snow in Sea of Thieves? What if we make a sandball fight where you have to actually like make little sand balls? I don't know how, but you use them like you do blunder bombs or fire bombs, and you have to hit pirates with them. And when you do, it blinds them, and it becomes a combat mechanic as well as an event.
Well, that's why I put the little inverted commas around it, because snowball fight, but obviously there's no snow, so it would have to be something else. I don't know what. Sand. I mean, when you build sand castles, you use water with sand and turn it into something slightly more solid. So I don't know. Maybe you could make a ball out of it. I haven't tried. I don't generally encourage throwing sand, but building. Yeah, but that sort of thing, kind of a snowball fight, building things, sledding down hills. It wouldn't have to be on snow. We've here in the summer taken sledges down on dried out grass. Just as fun, slightly more scarier.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think that's a great way to put a twist on the event for the holidays, and actually give us something that's unique that we haven't seen in game before. I love the idea of trying to take something that is what you would normally do, like a snowball fight, bringing it to Sea of Thieves in a way that makes sense, and then having that become like a way to interact in combat, like giving us a way to, if you do manage to hit someone with a snowball, maybe it stuns them, or maybe it just causes them to not be able to see. Using something like that gives people an opportunity to play in the event while also doing the thing that they would normally do. I'm kind of curious to get your guys' thoughts, since we're kind of sharing some of the things that we'd like to have addressed in the game. Golden Glory weekend. Anyone have any problems turning any loot in with the servers? Any problems having stuff register?
I've not played this weekend yet.
Me neither.
I logged in to do something the other evening, and when I logged in, I was showing 0 gold, 0 doubloons, 0 ancient coins, and anything I did not count. But once I logged out of this game and logged back in, logged back into that same session, then it all seemed to come back. So there has been some server wonkiness this weekend, which it's just me, or does it seem like every time we do a Golden Glory that something goofy goes wrong? It kind of been I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking things, but I feel like it's kind of been a common theme the last couple that they've done.
I think it has been, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I've definitely had issues with stuff working. Obviously, you guys, I talked about it last week. So I just want to get you guys' general feelings on server stability right now. Is it something that you've run into as being an issue? Or have you guys needed Rare to kind of address that? Because it feels like Season 5, without knowing the theme, it feels like it might be a little more of a Shrouded Spoils update, where they're focusing on just bringing a few quality of life changes to the world and focusing, hopefully, on getting a lot of fixes done for the game, so that way we're not dealing with these server stability issues where, just with like Golden Glory, I would love to jump in there and feel like everything that I'm doing is counting after all the hard work that I've been putting into to try and get most of that stuff.
Yeah, I would totally be perfectly fine with a full seasonal update being real bug fixes to fix some of these like seemingly repetitive issues that's been coming up with the servers, because it does seem like the last few months the servers in general have been a lot more touchy than they were earlier in the game. So if that's the case, if that's what Season 5 is going to be, I am all for that 100%. And I'm willing to sit on 10-12 weeks of no new lore-based content if it means that a more stable game is given. I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Awesome. Well, outside of Golden Glory weekend and some of the stuff that's been coming with the Black Friday sales that have been going on, has anyone decided to jump on the sales and pick up any content that you haven't?
No, but I would say, I saw some of the currencies go on sale for different games, but the ancient coins never do.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, I haven't seen any deals as far as the ancient coins go. Always just the stuff that you want to buy in there.
Fortnite and all them seem to get in there, and lots of those other games that have currencies. World of Tanks is another one that seems to have a lot of, in-game currency, and they always seem to be in the sales quite frequently. But ancient coins, never been in one yet.
Is that a better way for you guys, in your opinion, to go? So that way, if you want to buy coins on the cheap, you can do that. And then when something comes out that you want, you can use the coins that you got from the Black Friday sale?
I would be in favor of that, because I'm at the point to where when it comes to Emporium content, if it's something that I've already wanted, I've already got it. Okay. And the stuff that I'm not too fussed about is still sitting in there, and I'm still not fussed about it. So at this point, out of what's available, I have what I already wanted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like you. I bought most of the stuff in the Emporium, and the things that I don't own, I was never interested in buying anyway. So yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers what we've seen with Sea of Thieves and Season 5. If I remember correctly, the beginning of December is when we should be getting that season drop. I think it's like after the first week, or just at like, what is it, December 2nd?
I think the tweet said December 2nd, yeah, which is Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday. Have you guys gotten your ledger stuff done yet? I'm curious if you've completed all your cosmetics for that.
I've done my season renown already, so I'm good.
Well, not the renown, but the ledgers as far as like for the different trade companies and running the emissary.
Yes, I have.
First month.
Yep, I'm caught up on that.
I still need to do a little bit more on Reapers, but other than that, I'm done.
It was a good weekend to do it. Yeah, I still need to get Athena's done, but I don't know that I'll be able to get it done this weekend. So hopefully, I guess that will take care of it. It's been good to get your guys' honest opinions on the upcoming events, because I feel like Rare is trying to do something unique with each one, but it feels like the sentiment isn't coming across to the public, because it's not just your guys' opinions that I hear this from too. I hear it from others as well. And every time I come to that, I always want to think of what would be a good way to spice things up. And I think, Mina, I think your idea of going with the quote unquote snowball fight is actually probably one of the best ideas I've heard for that. So I'd be interested to see what the team thinks about that. Going down the list as we head out, Hefe, thanks for sneaking away. I really appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us. Any place that you want to send people if they want to get in touch with you?
I'm around in the Discord. Anytime you guys need anything, just hit me up.
Awesome. And Mina, any place that you guys want, or that you want to send people to go say hi to you?
Not particularly. I'm on Twitter and in the Discord. That's about it, really.
I know you're just sharing some photos of some of was it Buster that you sent a photo recently?
Yeah, that was Buster, my horse.
Yeah, awesome animal.
He's so fluffy.
He really is. He's super.
He needs
fluffy
it
right
though.
now.
It's so cold.
Yeah, it looks like it's freezing up there. Awesome. And then going down the list, of course, Regis, any place that you want to send people for anything if they want to get in touch with you?
Discord, Twitter, the usual. Nothing new.
Okay. Had anything with you? Have you started up streaming hardcore yet?
No. If you can catch me in the Discord and very occasionally over on Twitch at Spudhead Paddy.
Awesome. Mike, you were doing a whole bunch of unboxings the last week. Where can people go and see you unboxing all of the amazing Halo stuff that you got?
Yeah, I'm out there on the YouTubes. Xbox Mic29. I've got another one this week, I think. Another controller from my son. Yeah, it's one that my son designed that he wanted. So that's I'm doing he's let me do an unboxing on it. So nice. Yeah, that's that one coming. It's going to be a DC villain themed one. And and Twitter, and Xbox. So yeah, any of those places. And the Discord as well, obviously.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm curious to see which villain he chose. I love that they did they came out with the new colors for the triggers and the D-pad. You can get the gold now, and man, yeah, I'm getting closer and closer to remaking that Sea of Thieves controller.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's a shame you can't like mix and match the buttons, individually. That'd be quite nice, like they did with the Sea of Thieves one. There's quite a few things that I think they need to think about doing on the design labs. I've mentioned a couple of things on my videos, but they don't seem too difficult. So I'm not sure why they don't do it, but maybe it just detracts from some of their own custom ones they do. Maybe that's why they don't do it. Who knows?
I think they would do. I think they do well to sell the customizations. Really build up that design lab. I'm with you on that, honestly.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the one thing everyone asks for is Design Lab Elite controllers.
Yeah.
And I think the argument against that is it would be quite expensive because they're already quite expensive. But I mean, we keep getting told options are good. So
yeah,
if you've got the money and you want it, then you should be allowed to have it,
Yeah, I definitely agree. All right, friends. Well, thanks for dropping in. It was really good to get some thoughts and some feelings out there. I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone feels at the end of December. We'll be back again at the end of December to discuss this. I'll probably be creating an event for that. So keep an eye out in the Discord for that as well. It's always going to be the last Saturday/Sunday, depending on where you live, of December. And it'll be interesting to see how you guys have started to implement some of these tools. If you've come back with some fun stories or some interesting things that you did with being able to bury stuff or cannon rowboats and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I will talk to you all later.
You certainly will.
So believe it or not, after having the conversation with the Keelhauled crew and finishing up, we realized that some of the discussion that we were having after we stopped recording was actually worth it. and we might have realized that the last Saturday of December is actually Christmas Day. So we went ahead and started recording to try and address that. Here's the bit of conversation that we had after the recording, which is actually probably some of the better content, which just goes to show you podcasters out there, never stop rolling, even when you say you are.
The last weekend or the last bit of the week. So,
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe you want to just re-record that last bit again.
So yeah. So in hindsight, realizing now, like, yeah, the last weekend of December being the 25th, probably not going to work out. So yeah, I guess if it works for everyone, then we'll record on the 18th, and then we'll have our thoughts and our feelings set for there. I'll get a weekend off and I'll release the episode like I normally do on the 27th. But at least that way everyone can not have to worry about finding time to step away or just not be available for Christmas in that case. Does that work for everyone then?
That works for me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds good.
I'm really liking the idea of having the debate of Die Hard being a Christmas film or not, and watching it to try and.
There's no debate. It is.
There's always a debate.
No, it is.
There's always a debate.
I don't get the whole debate thing anyway.
Okay, so if you guys had to pick like a Christmas movie, because I did want to jump on the 18th and actually, so maybe we can make a day of it and have the watch party for those that want to jump on, and then do our recording at our normal time. But if that's the case, is there a holiday movie that is your guys' go-to holiday movie to watch?
Home Alone.
On 34th Street.
Miracle on 34th Street, Home Alone. Hefe, you got one?
The OG Home Alone, not the recent ones that have been milked by Fox and now Disney.
My favorite Christmas movie, and it's not even really a movie, it's more of a show, but it's the Peanuts, the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Really? Wouldn't have called that.
Oh, that one.
I've not seen that in so long.
I haven't seen it, to be honest.
I love Snoopy. Snoopy's one of my favorite things.
Wallace and Gromit, the wrong trousers.
Yes, that's a good one.
Really?
Okay.
It's essentially the best Christmas film ever.
Gonna say I'm really disappointed no one brought up Jingle All the Way, but I'll have to live with that. All right. Well,
The Santa Claus is the original. The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. That's a pretty good one too.
I just watched that actually.
Did you?
Did you really?
And then you got the Grinch, like the cartoon
This is
version
the
of the
problem.
Grinch.
This is the problem when you get into Christmas too early, Logan. You see, this is why I put you.
We're like 2 or 3 days out from December.
I need it, Mike. Do you realize
Been on
what
this
year this has
train
been?
for about a month. Don't
There
give
are
me
some
3 days
people who have had
away
their
from
Christmas
Christmas.
decorations up since last year.
Yeah, he never took them down.
All right. Well, you guys have a fun time. I love you all. I have to go stand by my front door because apparently my PS5 is arriving in an hour, and I want to be here when it gets here, just like as if it were a newborn baby.
Yeah.
So I will see you all
Have
later.
fun with that.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. I've already got.
Let
Sorry.
us know how Sea of Thieves plays on it.
I will figure out how to get into the browser, and I will head to xbox.com/play. I'll see if I can use a DualSense playing Sea of Thieves via xCloud.
Ugh.
Maybe that's the first thing I'll play. Is I'll see if I can rig
Do it.
rig up Sea of Thieves on my PlayStation.
Do it. I want to see that tweet. I want to see the salt. I want to see the salt in those replies.
I want to watch the world burn with that one.
First game I play on a PS5. Sea of Thieves.
I'll do that now. You've set yourself up for it now. I need to
Do it, and we want a video.
Yeah. She's already doing that.
So funny. All right, friends. I'm gonna let you all go. All right. I love you all. I'll talk to you all later.
Okay.
You guys have a good weekend. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. See you guys.
See you for the watch party.
Yeah, bye.
See ya.
See ya.
I'm gonna go go say hi to my wife, because if the more I do that, the more she forgives me for finding out that I spent $500 on a PS5 after spending $2,000 on a new TV. But I got the new TV, so I had to get the PS5, right? That's how that works.
That's right.
You've already got a Series X. What are you on about?
Well, I needed something to look ugly next to the Xbox, and the cats were only going to stand there for so long.
Your cats
They're
are
not ugly.
No, are they? Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to sit next to him forever. That feels real awkward.
You've been listening to a Robots Radio podcast. Smart shows for interesting people. Check out all the shows at robotsradio.net.
Are you into the cyberpunk tabletop games or excited for Cyberpunk 2077? Are you looking to brush up on the lore, stay up on all the latest news, and talk about the game when it comes out? Check out the Cyberpunk Lorecast, a show from Robots Radio with me, your host, Robots. We'll go over all the details you need to know about the world, characters, and story of Cyberpunk. Available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
Hey there, my name's Jameson, or Big Cat.
And I am Brenna, or Mother Goose.
And together, we are the hosts of the DL Weekly Gaming News.
Each week, we bring you the top stories from last week, as well as something you might have missed.
Our goal is to start a conversation about what's going on in the world of gaming.
And every week, we have a special guest join us in the chat room, where we discuss a different gamer-related topic and learn more about our guests in the 60-second download.
And if that isn't enough, we also have Slim Jims.
So come and hang out with us every week and join in on the conversation.
Good luck and have fun, everybody.
And remember, keep your goose loose.